Welcome, everyone. We're here at the Strive305 podcast. Once again, I'm Tico Casamayor. This is Irvan's Agustin. He's the co-host with the most. And our guest today is Alexandre Contreras. Correct? Contreras, right?
Yes, sir.
Alex Contreras. He's got a great story he's going to share with us now. Before we kick it off, a couple of announcements I got to make. We have some more exciting news for Strive305 and Strive305 Hub. That's the handle, by the way, on Instagram, at Strive305 Hub. So what do we got coming? We got ribbon cuttings are going to start happening now by the Strive305 Hub team at different businesses. We're going to go in-person ribbon cuttings throughout the county. And I'm going to work it hopefully with Grant Miller. Grant Miller here. We're going to use and see if we can get these posted up live while we're doing them, or at least right after. So we have like live style ribbon cutting for the new businesses. Yeah, it's a blast. I've been doing them
you've been doing Miami-Dade
for a while.
Now you're going national?
It's a great time. Now we're going national. Yeah, worldwide. So 305 like Pitbull. And another thing we're doing, the activations that we mentioned with Mega TV. That's done. That's confirmed to the point that our first one is tomorrow. I don't know if you know, our first one is tomorrow.
Yep.
At a restaurant. What's the restaurant called? I wrote it down. Silvano's. Silvano's Italian Restaurants.
That's in downtown, I think, right?
Downtown, 2426 Northeast 2nd Avenue. So if you guys want to join and go by at 11 a.m.
They're actually pretty good. I actually like their food.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, and it's going to be, I think it starts at 11 a.m. through 4 or 2 or like 3 or 4 hours.
Something like that.
Yeah, and we're going to have radio. The Mega TV radio is going to be out there, and they're going to be doing a whole live activation, what they call it. So we're really excited about that. And see what else we got. Oh, look, I'll tell you what I wrote here for you guys what this Silvano stuff has. So there is an Italian restaurant, food, pizza, pastas, risottos, salads, seafood, and meats. So tomorrow, 11 o'clock we start. We go live a couple times on the radio, then we eat and pass out. That's my plan.
It should be fun.
Yeah, okay. So those
Make sure it's in that order, by the way.
The passing out at the end?
Yeah.
Well, knowing me, I pass out before, during, and after. But all right, that's it. That's what I got based announcements. We got our Miami Minute, our guest, Alexandre Contreras, which... have you heard his Miami Minutes?
No, I'm glad to hear this. Yeah.
Actually, Miami Viced it just for you today.
I know. We have to start doing like costume sets.
Amber, everybody knows our great producer, Amber.
Yes,
but I don't think they've ever seen her in person. So I did a picture so that everybody can actually meet her. And I want to show that picture, but that picture also has something else. If you guys notice, my man Irvan's here. I'm not really sure. Amber and I were trying to figure out, is he doing air guitar and he dropped the guitar? Was he just too tired from doing too many of these podcasts? Look at your face there, Irvan.
I was about to say, you paused in the worst place ever.
Or who knows what he was? Who knows what he took before that days? But anyways, everybody, that's Amber. Without her, this doesn't happen. So she's the big thank you. I wanted everybody to meet her. And Irvan's, I wanted everybody to see him, what he looks like after a couple of, drinks. But anyways, on that note, Irvan's Miami Minute, it's all yours.
Actually, so much for that intro, Tico. Good to have you. Alexander, Alex, what do you prefer?
Alex is fine.
Alex? Mm-hmm. Good to have you.
Thank you.
Actually, I was trying to decide what I was going to do since I had one for animals, but then I figured since Father's Day had just passed, we just did a Father's Day kind of focus post.
Oh, I like it.
But I do have some random stuff for you later. So if you want some random stuff about things in Miami around animals, we'll throw them in there just for you.
Awesome.
So, all right. Welcome to the Miami Minute. Bite-sized insights, history, and random facts for your day. Father's Day has just passed, and since both Tico and I are proud fathers, we figured it would be only right to spotlight some of the legendary and lesser-known fathers in Miami history. We always hear about Henry Flagler and Carl Fisher and all those guys, so we want to take a look at some of the less usual suspects. For a quick note, by the way, I was just kind of looking it up. Father's Day started in 1910 in Spokane, Washington, thanks to Sonora Smart Dodd. She wanted to honor her father, who was a Civil War vet who has 6 kids, and he raised them all solo. But it wasn't officially a U.S. holiday until Nixon signed it into law in 1972. So it was like 62 years before Father's Day had their own day after Mother's Day. But we're here now, so that's good. Do you have kids?
Yeah, I got two boys. I got a 15-year-old Kaysen and my 5-year-old Caleb.
Awesome. So in that case, happy Father's Day to you both.
Thank you.
As well. So the first father we have up, Dr. James Jackson, Miami's first physician and namesake of Jackson Memorial. He opened the city's first hospital in 1918 and pioneered public health, a true father of medicine in Miami. Monsignor Brian Walsh, the father of Operation Pedro Pan. He helped relocate over 14,000 unaccompanied Cuban children fleeing Castro. His legacy lives on in countless Cuban-American families and really changed the face of Miami today. Dana A. Dorsey, Miami's first black millionaire. He bought and developed land across Overtown and Coconut Grove and donated land for schools and parks and became the father of black entrepreneurship in the city. Next up, we have Maurice Ferre, Miami's first Puerto Rican mayor and the father of modern downtown. He helped shape Brickell's skyline and open doors for Latino leadership in local politics, and also a lot of the development that helped in the Brickell area. He's the one that really helped promote it and help make it happen. And I think there's a park named after him.
I remember his name.
Yeah. And then we also have, I'll just figure I threw in there, Uncle Luke, Luther Campbell, father of Miami-based music and free speech icon. He took on the Supreme Court and helped put Miami hip-hop on the map. These days, he mentors youth and champions education for young black fathers. E.W.F. Stirrup, a Bahamian-American carpenter who built over 100 homes in Coconut Grove, and he was a pillar of black Bahamian community and literal builder of Miami's history. Gianni Versace, not really a dad, but he's a godfather of South Beach's rebirth. His renovation of Casa Casuarina sparked a glam era that brought Ocean Drive back on the map. And also, it's a great restaurant now, by the way, if you ever go. David Beckham, since we got the World Cup coming. Since 2019, he's been the soccer daddy of Miami, and he didn't even need it. But his efforts brought Inter Miami and Messi to town and putting us on the world football map. And last, Glenn Curtis, aviation pioneer and father of Miami Springs, and he helped develop much of Northwest Miami-Dade, blending flight, innovation, and urban planning to create communities like Hialeah, Opa-locka, and several other cities that he helped start and found. So from city founders to civil rights fighters and salsa kings to soccer dads, Miami's history is filled with father figures who shaped the city from the ground up. If you have a favorite father or Miami dad that we missed, drop us a line, send us a note, and don't forget to tell us your father figure. Tell a father figure in your life just how legendary they are. Until next time, stay cool, stay curious, and that's your Miami Minute.
Excellent. You see, they're always good.
That's what I love. Like, I didn't even know that Father's Day wasn't even a national holiday until, like you mentioned, 60 years.
62 years later after Mother's Day. That's okay.
Wow.
Yeah, excellent. Okay, now it's your turn. Alexandre.
Yeah, Alexander is fine.
All right, so you are president, founder of PetTrio Charity.
Yes, sir.
And of Innovational Pet Product Division.
Yes, sir.
All
yes,
right,
sir.
Explain all that to us. I know you got a story. I didn't want to know the story before, so I'm going to hear this with everybody.
Yeah, I'm super thankful for being here. Like I mentioned, my name is Alexandre Contreras. I'm the president and founder of PetTrio Charity and the president of Innovational Pet Product Division. I like to just coin myself a veterinarian technician turned entrepreneur and philanthropist. And if anybody's out there loves animals, loves entrepreneurship, loves education, I think once you hear my story, you're definitely going to come away with some inspiration, definitely.
Go.
So like most, obviously I grew up here in Homestead, Florida. Always had a passion for animals. I attribute that a lot to my late grandpa, and I'm glad you mentioned about father figures. Obviously, I didn't have a father in my life, but I did have my grandpa. That was like the stone pillar in our family. Mm-hmm. And if it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't even be in this position that I am now.
Is he the one that got you into veterinary?
Yeah, actually, he's the one that, obviously, when my mom would be working 2 jobs, my grandma and my grandpa were the one that were taking care of me and my brother. And my grandpa would sit me on the TV. With him, obviously, I would watch the Animal Planet, the Discovery Channel, Net Geo Wild, all those animal-related programs. And I remember early on thinking, damn, when I grow up, I want to be somehow or another, I want to be involved in the veterinarian profession. I had realistic expectations on myself, guys, meaning that I knew I wasn't going to be an astronaut. I knew I wasn't going to be the president of the United States, but I knew I wanted to be in the veterinary profession at some capacity, right? So I remember watching this one show on Animal Planet called Emergency Vets, and it was literally a camera crew following the day-to-day activities of a technician in an animal hospital setting, right? And I remember being clear as day, 9 years old, watching that show and turning to my mom and saying, Mom, when I grow up, I want to be that person, right? And of course, coming from a Hispanic household, my mom was thinking, oh, my son, quiere ser un doctor, he wants to be a doctor. And I was like, no, I want to be whatever that person was that it was on TV. And the person that I was pointing to was that technician. And we all know in the veterinary profession, we technicians run the animal hospitals. the doctors are the brains of the organization, but at the end of the day, we're the moving parts, right? So when I was watching that on TV, I was like, you know what? That's what I want to do. So sure enough, as soon as I graduated from high school, Homestead Senior High School, we didn't have as many tech programs as we have now. So at that time, I resorted to this program called Penn Foster. It was an online EDU at the time to become this veterinarian technician. Got my certification for them guys. Got my first job at 18 working at this animal hospital called Town and Country Animal Hospital in Kendall.
I know what that is.
I love those guys there because they truly gave me the opportunity to really live out my dreams of something that I was envisioning as a kid, right? So got my first job with those guys. Started out as a kennel assistant, walking the dogs, feeding the dogs, picking up the dog poop, cleaning up the urine, things like that. The ugly, grueling work that the people on the outside don't know, right? I had to start there. But my mom always told me that the ladder of success is climbed from the bottom up. So I knew, hey, this is just the things that I have to do, right? So got in there with those guys, scaled up within 6 months. I was able to show the managers there and the doctors there, like, hey, look, this is something that Alex truly wants to do. The dude is picking up extra shifts. He's working holidays. He's working weekends. This dude really wants to be here, right? So I got my opportunity to be thrown in what I like to call the fire into the treatment area. Out of my 20-year career as a technician, 10 of those years was in that one practice in particular, which is very rare in my profession. Most technicians usually burn out within like year 4, year 5, whether it's a combination of what I like to call compassion fatigue or just not being able to scale up in the organization. I was just fortunate enough that my first job landed me with some good individuals and doctors around me that they kind of expected more from me. And that expecting more of me, I was like, well, shit, if this is what I got to prove to them, I'm going to show them day in and day out, right? So they would invest in my education. I would attend the conferences and stuff to get what they call CE credits or credits towards your education, but I never really applied it to anything. I just wanted to have that knowledge and that skill set that I can be thrown into any treatment area and assist the doctor in what their treatment plan would be, right? So in that tenure there with those guys over at Town and Country Animal Hospital, I became a certified canine massage therapist as well. And this is where the business influence kind of reignited itself in me. I've always had an entrepreneurial spirit at heart. Again, I ducktail that back to my upbringing, growing in a single family household with one mom with 2 kids. If my brother and I ever wanted anything extra, we had to figure out a way to do it, whether it was washing cars, cutting lawns, fixing dirt bikes, whatever it was to release that burden off my mom, right? So that's where that entrepreneur spirit was always in me. So when I got certified as this canine massage therapist, it started out as a joke, massaging my friends and families, my neighbors' dogs that had arthritis or were recovering from some type of an ailment or a procedure. And I started to realize, wait a minute, these animals are benefiting from these massage techniques that I'm doing. In human medicine, they use the same thing. My philosophy was that a muscle is a muscle, regardless if there's skin or fur on it, and as long as you apply it in the correct way. And when I started to see, like, wait a minute, these animals are doing better, that's when I had that light bulb moment. I was like, wait a minute, what if I could create a side hustle, a little service business out of this, right? So sure enough, I created this little service business called Dogapy. And where I got the name Dogapy from is obviously a dog and in therapy. And I just smashed those 2 words together and came up with Dogapy, right? Got that all trademarked, buttoned up. That was my first entrance into this entrepreneurship role that I always knew I had in me, right? So started out the Dogapy thing. I was fortunate enough that Christine Kruger from Channel 10 News saw my story. I was able to massage her dog Pikachu on camera. This was back in like 2012. But again, just further showed like, wait a minute, Alex. I could be in this profession, I could still be passionate about animals and live out what my grandpa instilled in me, but now I added this entrepreneurial component to it, right? This little side hustle to offset the money that I wasn't making as a technician, because we all know a technician salary, it's not that great, but if you can supplement it with something of your own, it just makes it that much better, right? So did that for about 3 or 4 years there with Dogapy, still working as a technician. 2016 was my super aha moment, guys. That moment that innovators and entrepreneurs always dream about, inventing something or creating something. I happen to be binge watching multiple episodes of Shark Tank, which I'm sure the listeners and everybody's familiar with. And I was there with my 6-year-old son at the time, Kason, watching, and I'm like, damn, man, these people are coming on there creating products, services, and business, and something they have firsthand knowledge in, right? Like something they can improve and make better. And I started to scratch my head and think, man, well, nobody on this planet is better than me. I'm no better than anybody here. If they were able to obtain this success with coming up with the most simplest ideas or inventions, why can't I? Why can't I, right? So I'm sitting there 2016, guys, watching the show. I go to work the next day and I'm like, damn, Alex, what in the veterinary profession can be improved and made better and definitely safer, not only for the technicians performing the task, but for the everyday pet owner and more importantly for the patients that we're treating, right? And I happened to stumble across one of the most overlooked aspects that I've coined in the veterinarian profession, and it's the dreadful nail trimming process in animals. We hate trimming animals' nails. I don't care how much of a skilled trained technician you are. I don't care if you got a master's, a doctorate, an MBA, or you're a gold star groomer. You're going to nip the quick.
Do you have a dog, Tico? Do you have pets?
We had passed away, so we haven't got another one, but I hate trimming my own nails. So
Yeah.
that alone, I can tell you it's a pain in the
Now
butt.
imagine an animal moving, having to worry about
Have you ever tried
bit.
trimming a dog's nails?
Yeah, no. I have a professional do it.
I've tried,
Kidding me?
but the thing is, like, if you don't do it,
I feel like you're going to cut off their.
And
their
I don't
balls.
I'm not even a vet tech, but you can see there's like a vein in it, so you have to do it the right way. If not, it like physically hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so,
And that's it right there. The pet owner's like, you know what? I'm not gonna deal with it. Let me take it to the technician or to the groomer, not knowing that at the end of the day, it's a human process. It's a human error. They're gonna nip the quick just as much as you are, and the quick is the blood vein that runs in an animal's nails. And when that happens, guys, we have to resort to grabbing this yellow medicine called styptic powder. It comes in this jar form. Half of the time when we open it, we don't know when we open that jar. Sometimes we can find some contaminants in the bottle. Everybody in the profession knows this, so I'm not giving away any secrets or anything like that. We will have to pour that powder on the table. And this happens behind closed doors while the owners are in the room thinking, oh, these people are conducting magic back there. No, we're going through the trials here. So we will have to pour out this powder called styptic powder, grab our fingers on that powder, grab that animal's injured nail to try to safely place that powder on there, only to create this huge mess. Now we got powder everywhere, blood underneath our fingernails, and that delayed time of getting that effective pain relief to the animal, right? So I said back 2016, I said, Alex, this has to change. There has to be a safer, faster, and definitely hygienic way of applying styptic powder to an animal's injured nail. Little did I know that idea was going to take me on a 4.5-year journey through a patenting process, all self-taught. I educated myself on what are the requirements, what are the steps, what do I have to do. Took me on a 4.5-year journey through that. I secured 2 U.S. utility patents on the first ever disposable styptic powdered cartridge that's going to snap onto a pet nail clipper. That also has a stainless steel nail file on the axle handle, virtually making it a 3-in-1 tool. You can cut the animal's nail, file the animal's nail,
and apply the powder at the same time.
Styptic powder. The name of the product is going to be called PetTrio. I even tattooed it on my forearm.
That's commitment.
Even before I submitted my patents, I kind of dumped it into the universe to where I said failure wasn't going to be an option for me because I would literally have to stare at regret for the rest of my life, and I went all in for it. Again, Mom, thank you so much for giving me those first $1,000 to start the process because the patenting process was not cheap. But if it wasn't for my mom risking her $1,000 and not paying the mortgage on her house that month, I probably wouldn't be able to obtain these things. So thank you, Mom. And this is something that I'm first generation Cuban American into this country, and no one in my family tree has embarked on this entrepreneurial journey like I have, that this could potentially change the trajectory of my family tree. And if this is something that my grandpa instilled in me, then his sacrifices of coming to this country back in the 70s was worth it, because now I'll be able to kind of take that and kind of bring our family more into the new world here. And while I had all those amazing things going on as that technician and that entrepreneur with the invention of PetTrio, since getting past the patenting process is 2022, I was able to openly speak about my product. I've been on 2 veterinary magazine covers. I won 5 awards so far, bootstrapped all the way up until this point. You would think I'll be on Shark Tank already. You would think I'll be rolling in the dough. That hasn't happened yet.
Excuse me. You're on Strive305 podcast.
Yeah.
What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah.
This is the beginning of the future.
And being on this journey has brought me here now to where now I have these opportunities to connect with individuals. Again, Manny Sid was instrumental in me coming onto the podcast. So definitely Strive305 is something that I want to dig into to see how they can assist me in those resources of having the access to capital, because that's been my main barrier right now. The access to the capital and getting that out there. Like I mentioned, the story of this technician, the innovation of PetTrio, the demand I'm creating, the everything that I'm doing in the industry led me to feel that, okay, Alex, I need to do more. Because it's always been I wanted to do more. And that's what led me to start PetTrio Charity, where I plan on donating a PetTrio for every animal that gets adopted from a rescue organization I plan on partnering up with. Because my ultimate goal is to make sure that even the everyday pet owner can safely trim their pet's nails at home. But I'm a big advocate for more vet tech programs in our public schooling here in Miami-Dade County. I've been fortunate to speak at 5 of them, which is Homestead Senior High School, Robert Morgan, Felix Varela, Ferguson, and William H. Turner. And again, every time I speak to these students, they hear my story, they see my path, they see my journey. It lets them feel comfortable in knowing that, wait a minute, I could be passionate about animals. I don't have to become a veterinarian. I don't have to go through all that schooling. I could do my 1-year, 2-year certification.
Or you just pick something specific.
Get my foot in the door and then eventually scale and brand out from there. So I just feel like I was, as cliche as it may sound, I think I was built and made for this. The fact that I innovated the PetTrio product that's been in existence since the start of veterinary medicine. I just
So is it in production yet?
It is right now on hold.
Okay.
Obviously, it takes capital to start the molding process, production, things like that. But I literally got everything sealed up, guys. A deck, use of funds, a go-to-market strategy. Got the connection to manufacture down in Mexico. Strategically chose Mexico before everything was going on in the world. And again, I've done the due diligence. I've educated myself. I'm so confident in what I know that I'm bringing to market that you can sit me in any room and no one is going to stray me from knowing of what I've built, of what I can potentially make with the PetTrio product. But my main focus is the PetTrio charity aspect, because that's my way of giving back to the industry, knowing that, hey, look, I came, I saw, I conquered, I innovated, and I'm going to leave this industry better than what I had it. And that's been my main story. And I think that's why I've been getting these opportunities, because I position myself for these opportunities. Opportunities don't come knocking, as dumb as it may sound, they don't come knocking twice.
No, it's just a reality, especially if you're stepping.
But if you don't position yourself to have these opportunities, like when I met Manny Sid, I had to go through him from another person who heard my story, who then told me about another person. So always just try to put one foot forward and just try to live with passion and purpose in life. And I honestly feel like I was meant to be in this position. And again, it's the good deeds that I do, the family that taught me this way, my late grandpa who instilled the work ethics in me, and the relentlessness that if I ever wanted anything in this life, I would have to go out there and chase after it, because it wasn't going to come to me.
Oh, congrats for that.
You had to prime yourself, put yourself in these positions for it. And I'm just fortunate now that I get to tell my story, because I know it'll be something of inspiration, especially for the youth down there in Homestead. There's not too many outlets out there. And if I could just be one beacon of hope to let them know, like, hey, look, man, I'm from down south too. I grew up with the same people you did. I'm in the same environment. I got the same opportunities to grow and be better. Just if you have a passion for something, just stay committed to it, and eventually your opportunity will come.
You're a district commissioner?
Kionne McGhee. Mm-hmm.
And you told me you have something in the works with him?
Yeah, big developments there. Again, this is a major project that, again, I've realized in myself that I have a keen eye of finding a lack in something and filling that void with something more powerful, something more positive, especially for the community. So Animal Services has this trailer, or this mobile vet clinic called the Wildmobile, which is a wellness on wheels. It's a trailer that they come into underserved areas offering free vaccines for the community. And I realized that, wait a minute, they're going into like parking lots and things like that in different districts. I was like, why can't we bring it to the source? Why can't we bring that same resources to these vet tech programs that I identified in the Miami-Dade County public schooling, park those trailers there, offer the free vaccines to that community, but now we got that workforce educational development aspect to it, to where now the students...
You connected the dots with the trailer and then also the
exactly.
people who
So something that I'm going to be coining, obviously, the Paws and Youth Wellness Tour. I kicked that up to Commissioner Kionne McGhee down there in my district, because I want to start at Homestead Senior High School first. He loved it. School board member Luisa Santos loved it. I kicked it all the way to Rafael Villadoba. He's a South Superintendent for the Dade County Regional Schools. He's all on board for it. So this looks like something I can start to kind of compound together for January 2026. The Animal Services people loved it. And again, this is just me just seeing the need, seeing where the resources are at and bringing the resources to where the need is met and where it could be felt more. And I think that by combining that educational workforce development aspect, that communityship, I think that this is what it's all about. And I definitely want to put the PetTrio charity name on that, because this is something I wish I would have had. If I was able to get this far in my career and I didn't have access to these resources, these programs like these
kids after
do,
you can go so much further quicker.
imagine where they can go.
Yeah.
You know, and that's been my whole kind of story, is that I'm no better than anyone else. I tie my shoes the same. I brush my teeth the same. I wipe my butt the same. I just happen to have passion and a dedication for something that I saw as a young kid and just stayed determined.
Oh, it is a really unique story. And I think that, there's a lot of inspiration people could take from that. So you said right now, like in terms of, you're in the process of getting it produced on the production side, but you said access to capital is one of those opportunities that's you haven't found yet?
That I haven't found yet.
But I think that's also something like on the Strive305 website and other places, there's a list of resources on there potentially, depending on what stage you're at and where you need. So it's really just more of a question for you as to what stage in the development process are you in? Is that something that I'm trying to think of, like, how can we help you, or help, like in terms of the website and other things like that? Yeah,
definitely. I want to see, obviously, the access to the capital thing. Obviously, the production of PetTrio isn't a $0 amount. It's a significant amount of money.
But you have like the product designed? Do you have,
we got the CAD drawings. We got all that. I passed the prototyping. I passed
So it really is just
funding.
Okay.
The funding, which will include the access to the capital for the mold manufacturing, inventory, marketing dollars, a little salary, so I could attack on this full blown. And it's going to take those resources and those partnerships that I'm willing to speak to whoever.
Yeah. He's the perfect Strive305 candidate from beginning to end. And he gave the story of where he started from nothing.
And
created his business. And it's what Strive305 and our initiative, his passion that he has with the animals, and is the passion that we have with Strive305 and helping people like you and businesses, startups like you. And even if they're existing businesses that get stuck at a pain point, and then we got to help them forward. That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
So I feel the passion that you feel, and I feel it for this. And I can't even tell you why, because it makes no sense. People tell me, why do you waste your time on that? Focus on you, become a millionaire. I go, I don't need any more. I want to help others. And believe me, you help others and it comes back 100 times.
And I think that's why all these opportunities have been kind of gracing me with, because I don't know if it's I believe a lot in the law of attraction and affirmations, and I dump it out there into the universe.
100%.
And I feel that the universe is seeing the good that I'm doing, the good that I'm capable of, the impact this is going to have. Let's like sprinkle something on me. Oh, here's Manny Sid, by the way. Obviously, here's Tico. Here's Strive305. And I'm like, yay.
We're not allowed to mention Manny Sid, because he's very humble. He doesn't like to take credit for shit. So we never say Manny Sid's name ever. We never thank him for this.
Hey, well, that person, thank you so much for obviously connecting.
That person.
But 100%. He told me, he kept telling me, you're going to love this guy, you're going to love his story. That's why I didn't want to ask you before. I wanted to hear it live and get and I actually am emotional. And again, I can help you in a bunch of different ways beyond Strive305. If Strive305 doesn't, but we will through Strive.
Yeah.
And again, if it doesn't, that's what we want to learn, so that we can put it in the web, so that we can stick it in there, be part of, so everybody's dream can be fulfilled, as long as it's legit and as the way you're doing, with the passion that you're doing it. You know, you're being held up by something that I almost sure the county has available for people like you just don't know about.
Dade County Credit Union, they have several resource opportunities that you could connect to in terms of finding funding, and they're lower.
And he's way ahead of the minimums that they require. You're way ahead of him.
Yeah.
No, definitely. Again, it's connecting with the right individuals, because like I mentioned, I'm just some guy in Homestead that created something in the veterinarian industry that I know is going to be super impactful. I've spoken to a lot of veterinarians globally, as far as all the way to New Zealand and Nepal. And this is a pain point for not only pet owners, for the profession in general.
That's what I was going to ask you about PetTrio.
Yeah.
So is it an in-home product, or it's also an industry product?
It's going to be an in-home and an industry product. So the good thing about the PetTrio brand is I specifically designed it and made it to where it's going to be both accommodating for the everyday pet owner and for the veterinarian profession.
Right.
And what I mean by that is that as a technician, we do, I wouldn't say hundreds, but we do a lot of nail trims daily. And the fact that we would have to resort to grabbing 3 separate tools, the time wasting on that, the powder dumpage, the volume wastage, having it all combined in one tool is easier for us. On the owner side, the consumer side, you're going to have now the ability to learn how to do this on your own. Sometimes you're not going to be able to go to the vet's office. So in those times, this is something you can pick up the nail clipper, bond with your pet. You don't have to do all 10 at the same time. Start with one nail. And one interesting thing that I did that's going to flip the coin on this, my disposable cartridge, I took out the powder in it. I put Cheese Whiz in it, or peanut butter. I clipped it onto the clipper, and I started to show it to my dog in this fashion over a 2-week period. That I got her to start viewing the nail trimming process as something positive and rewarding and associated with the treat. That to the point that whenever
so
I get
run when she sees nail clippers.
Exactly. When I get the clippers out of the kitchen drawer, instead of her running across the room, she's actually coming to greet me because she's associated with something positive and rewarding. So by adding that component to it, now the pet owner can safely introduce that pet to the nail trimming process.
That could be a great series of like training videos.
Yeah, that's eventually my other goal.
Add that to the manual.
Yeah, I got it there, guys. I even got this stupid podcast ring light and everything. I got everything buttoned up to when I know that I'm in production. I know where I'm heading. I'm going to start dumping on socials, tutorial videos, TikToks, even if I have to dance or whatever the case may be, just to kind of show what this product can do. And eventually I'll get to those steps.
Well, that's another way Strive can help you too in our events section where we do all our events. And, every time we have enough, you can come and do the little quick presentation and show it to people, Do you have one of those guys here now with you?
Man, I actually left it, guys. I left it at my house. When I first produced my first 19, I sold those first 15 at a dog park within the first 30 minutes. That's how I kind of knew I proved market entry way before I even started the process. And I kept one. That's the one that I do these demos with, but it's not one that I would guarantee to do outside demos with. This is one that I just, when I go on podcasts or Zoom meets, I kind of show this one. So my first goal is eventually get to production, have that ready to where I'll be comfortable enough to go into these events and doing those.
Have stuff you get away.
We did, they did, let me look at my camera. He did a favor because if he would have had it here, he would have done my toes. I would have given him my toes in front of everybody and you would have seen my gross, ugly toes. But we're lucky you didn't bring it. And if any second now, our producer Amber is going to start throwing stuff at me because we're over time.
Yeah.
And if she
Sorry,
starts,
that happens sometimes when I'm when I'm tuned in. When I'm tuned in.
No, and I was worried. We were worried that we're not going to have enough content.
Yeah.
And then also we have, you have your crowd of girls here. They came because they wanted to hear the story that they kept hearing so much about. They're going, I want to hear this thing because he says, hello, he delivered. Yes, girls? Thank you. You're very excited. It was spectacular.
Do you have a website?
Yeah, so the website is www.cliptrio.com. Obviously, you get to see what the product's about. I got some amazing videos on there on YouTube as well. Social media handles at PetTrio, and for PetTrio charity with a K. Yeah, funny quick story with the K. When I was getting the CADs engineered, I initially spelled PetTrio with a C. When I handed it over to the product engineers, one of the dudes mistakenly put a K on it. When he came back to give me the file, I said, you misspelled this. He's like, oh, PetTrio isn't spelled with a K? I said, you know what? The universe told this dude it's spelled with a K. I ran with it. And then I got it tattooed the next week. But yeah, they can go to PetTrioCharity.org website as well. Social media handles the same. And I got some great events coming up and some major projects that I want to do or execute come 2026.
Well, another thing that Strive305 can do for you, send those events to me. We'll put them up on the calendar.
Okay, perfect.
We'll have it on their website's calendar.
We can promote them.
I think that
we all have pets, so I think it's like something universal.
I think Alex has challenged us. I think by the next episode, we should have a Strive305 tattoo on our arms. What do you think?
Yeah, it look good, man. Do it.
He won't do it. I'll do it. Okay, that's it. We got to stop. We're going to get in trouble. Let me do our quick thank yous because literally she's got a glass of water she's going to throw me next. All right, we got to thank, of course, our Mayor Levine Cava. This is her initiative that she kicked off. Thank you to her. Anthony Bonami, who is still on board. For now. You got the email
I just saw he's transitioning.
He's moving up in the world. That's what happens when you join 305. You go next level. Hopefully one day I'll be national TV, even though we're supposed to be on national XM radio, I think, pretty soon.
When's that supposed to start?
I don't know, but it happens soon before I go. I might be Joe Rogan's, fill-in whenever he's not available. So a big thank you to Anthony Bonami. Grant Miller from here.
Here.
I'm trying to convince him to do ribbon cuttings with me. Could you imagine?
He'll come. He goes already.
Oh, he would love that. That would be great. Amber, of course, the one that's throwing the water on me any minute now. The Miami Community News Studios. Thank you for this beautiful opportunity. And that's it. Thank you, Alex, for being here, brother.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity.
Thanks for sharing.
Thank you.
That's it, Amber. Get us out of here, please. Keep the water in your hands.